check this first. Before you squeeze it, before you toss it in the cart, before you carry it home and wait 3 days only to cut into a brown, stringy mess. There is one little spot on every avocado that tells you exactly what is waiting inside right now before you ever pick up a knife. You have been buying these things for years, and nobody at that store has any reason to tell you the trick. Why would they? They make their money whether you guess right or guess wrong. But my people, we don't guess. We never had the luxury to guess. When you raise your own food and you trade for what you can't raise, you learn to read what's ripe and what's not by looking, by touch, by a few quiet signs the good Lord built right into the skin. And the avocado, even though it's no fruit that grows in our cold Pennsylvania ground, follows the very same rules as the fruit off our own trees. So stay with me, because in just a few minutes, right around the middle here, I'm going to show you the one test that the man at the produce stand will never teach you. It costs nothing. It takes 2 seconds, and it'll save you from ever throwing away another brown avocado as long as you live. Before we get going, do me a small favor. Drop a note below and tell me where you're watching from, and tell me this. Are you the kind who likes your avocado soft and buttery, or do you like it firmer, a little green still? Just type it down there. It helps more than you know, and I read every one. Now let me tell you where I learned to read fruit. I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. We had a row of old fruit trees behind the barn, pears mostly, and a couple of apple trees so old my grandfather couldn't remember planting them. And every fall, my grandfather would walk that row with his hands behind his back, and he'd stop and he'd just look at a pear. He wouldn't squeeze it like a city man mashing bread. He'd cup it, lift it gentle in his palm, look at the color near the stem, and he'd say, "This one tomorrow, this one 3 days, this one already turning." He was never wrong. Not once that I saw, and as a boy I thought it was some kind of magic only old men had. It wasn't magic at all. It was reading the signs. And those same signs are sitting right there on the avocado in your kitchen, this very minute, if somebody just shows you where to look. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me start with the part everybody gets wrong, the squeeze. You've seen it, maybe you do it yourself. A person walks up to the pile of avocados and starts mashing every single one with their thumb like they're testing a mattress. Squeeze, 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 put it back. And here's the sad thing about that. Every one of those people just bruised every avocado they touched, including the ones they put back for the next fellow. An avocado has no skin like an apple. It's thin underneath that rough hide, and the flesh inside is soft and full of oil. When you press hard with one thumb, you drive a bruise right down into the meat. You won't see it from the outside. But 3 days later, when you cut it open, there's the brown spot, right where some stranger's thumb went in at the store. So the first rule my people would tell you is plain: don't poke holes in your neighbor's supper, and don't poke them in your own. The hard squeeze tells you almost nothing and ruins the fruit doing it. Now think about the money in that. You go to the store and you buy, what, $2, sometimes $2.50 for one good avocado now, some weeks more than that. And how many do you carry home, set on the counter, wait for, and then cut open to find brown strings and a wasted $1 in the trash? If you're like most folks, it's near half. Half of what you buy goes soft, wrong, or brown, or never ripens right at all. Think about that over a year. You buy maybe 4 a week, 2 of them go bad on you. That's $2, $3 a week in the bin. That's well over $100 a year you are throwing straight in the garbage just from not knowing how to read the fruit. And the store loves it. They truly do. Because the more you toss, the more you come back to buy. There is no sign over that bin that says how to pick a good one. Nobody profits from you getting it right the first time. They profit from you guessing and guessing wrong and coming back Saturday for 2 more. That's the part that always sat wrong with me. And it's exactly the kind of thing I go deep on in the books I've put together for folks who want to stop guessing and start knowing. The Garden Blueprint and the Harvest Blueprint are 2 of them. And together they cover everything from reading what's ripe to keeping what you've grown, all drawn from the same plain, practical wisdom my grandfather's people never thought to put a price on. If that sounds like something for your kitchen shelf, you'll find them linked in the description below for just $97, and every page is written the way I talk to you right here. But let's get back to the fruit. because touch and color together will take you a long way, and I want to build you all the way up to the one trick that beats them all. Where I come from, wasting food is close to a sin. You don't let the good Lord's provision rot on a counter because nobody bothered to teach you to look. My grandmother would have had words for that, sharp ones, so let me teach you to look. Let's start gentle. Then I'll build you all the way up to the one trick that beats them all. The first thing is color, but not the way you think. People say, oh, a ripe avocado is dark. And that's true for some kinds, and a flat lie for others. The most common one in your store, the bumpy dark one, that one does go from green to near black as it ripens. But there's another smooth, bright green kind that stays green even when it's perfectly ripe inside. If you wait for that one to turn dark, you'll wait till it's rotten. So color alone will fool you, and the store won't tell you which kind you're holding. Here's a truer way to read the color. Don't look at the whole fruit. Look at the skin tone shifting. On the dark, bumpy kind, you want a deep, even, dusty color all over. Not bright green, not shiny. A ripe one goes a little dull, a little muted, like a barn board that's seen a few winters. If it's shiny and bright and tight, it's days away yet. That dullness is the oil settling and the fruit softening under the skin. It's the same look my grandfather read on a pear. The shine goes off it right before it's ready. But color's only the first signal. And on its own, it's the weakest one. So let's go to touch, the right way, the way that doesn't bruise a thing. Forget the thumb. The thumb is a hammer. Use your whole hand instead. Cup the avocado in your palm and close your fingers around it gentle, the way you'd hold a baby chick. Apply soft, even pressure with the whole hand, not one point. A ripe one will give just a little all over, like the heel of your hand below your thumb when your hand is relaxed. Press that spot on your own palm right now. Feel that? Soft, but with something behind it. That's a perfect avocado. If it's hard like your knuckle, it's not ready. Days out. If it feels like pressing into bread dough, mushy, with no pushback, it's gone too far. The flesh inside has broken down, and you'll find brown and strings. And here's the thing nobody mentions. Where it gives matters. If the whole fruit gives evenly, good. But if there's one soft, sunken spot and the rest is firm, that soft spot is a bruise, and under that bruise is rot, even if the rest is fine, that's the thumb damage from the store. So you're not just feeling for soft, you're feeling for even. Even soft is ripe, uneven soft is damaged. Now, you'd think touch and color together would be enough, and they're close, but there's a problem with both of them, and it's the reason I'm building you up to the real trick. Touch and color tell you about the outside and the top layer. They don't see all the way to the middle. You can have an avocado that gives just right in your palm, looks dull and ready, and still hides a brown vein or a rotten core down by the pit, because the inside doesn't always rot from the outside in. Sometimes it goes bad from the seed out, and the skin never says a word about it. So how do you see inside a thing without cutting it open? That's the trouble, isn't it? That's the trouble the store's counting on. They know you can't see in, they know you're guessing, and they sell you the guess. But my people figured out long ago how to read the inside of a fruit from the outside. And it's so simple, you'll be a little angry nobody told you sooner. Here it is, the stem, that little brown nub at the top of the avocado where it was once attached to the branch. Most folks never give it a second look. Some avocados still have it. Some have a little dried stem. Some just have the round dimple where it broke off. That tiny spot is a window straight into the fruit. And reading it is the closest thing to seeing inside without a knife that you will ever find. Let me tell you why it works, because once you understand it, you'll never forget it. That stem nub is corky and dry on the surface. But right underneath it, that little plug of stem tissue is connected to the same flesh that fills the whole fruit. It's the doorway the tree fed the avocado through. When the avocado is fresh and healthy inside, the flesh right under that stem is bright, green, yellow-green, like the inside of the fruit should be. When the avocado is overripe, going brown, breaking down inside, that flesh under the stem browns first because it's the oldest tissue and it's exposed to a little air. And when there's mold or rot starting at the top, you'll see it there, dark and ugly, before it ever shows anywhere else. So all you do is this: take your fingernail or your thumb and gently flick or peel off that little stem nub at the top. It pops right off on a ripe one. Don't dig, just lift it and look at the color in the little hole left behind. Green. Bright green or yellow green under there. That avocado is perfect inside. Ripe, fresh, ready to eat, no brown, no surprise. Buy it, take it home, cut it with confidence. Brown under there, dark, muddy, mushy looking, put it down. That one's overripe, and you'll find brown strings and bruising inside. The store can keep it. And if the stem won't come off at all, won't budge, the spot under it is pale and hard and yellow-white, that one's not ripe yet. It needs 3, 4, 5 more days on your counter, which is fine if that's what you want. Now you know what you're getting and how long the wait will be. Think about what you just got. A way to see inside a sealed fruit. To know before you pay, before you wait, before you cut. The store has no answer for that. They are counting on you not knowing it exists. Now, I want to be honest with you, the way my father raised me to be, because there's some back and forth about this trick out in the world. Some folks did a little kitchen experiment some years back and said the stem test isn't always perfect, that sometimes the stem comes off green and the inside still has a spot, and that's fair. No single sign is perfect. My grandfather never used just one sign on a pear either. He used 3 at once: color, touch, and the stem together. That's the secret. Any one of them alone can fool you. All 3 together, almost never. So here's how you stack them, the way we do it. First, the color. Dull, not shiny. Second, the cup and squeeze in the whole palm. Gives evenly, not mushy, in one spot. Third, the stem flick, green underneath. When all 3 say yes, you've got a perfect avocado, and you'll be right far more often than the man who's been buying them for 20 years on a thumb mash and a prayer. That alone is worth the few minutes you've spent with me. But I told you at the start I'd take you further than this, and I will, because reading the fruit in the store is only half of it. The other half is what you do once you get it home. And this is where almost everybody, even folks who pick a good one, throws their money away without ever knowing it. Now, some of you are thinking this is fine for a fellow standing in the store deciding, but I've already got avocados at home on my counter right now, and I don't know what to do with them. They're not ripe yet, or they're getting too ripe too fast, and I don't want to start over with a whole new batch. I hear you. This is for you especially, because you don't need to throw out a thing you already own, and you don't need to buy a single gadget to fix it. Let me tell you what's really happening on your counter, because once you see it, you'll control it. An avocado, after it's picked, is still alive in a way. It's still breathing slow, and it ripens by giving off an invisible gas. The English scientists have a name for it. They call it ethylene. It's a ripening gas, and every fruit makes it, some more, some less. Apples make a lot. Bananas make a great deal. And that gas is what tells the fruit time to soften, time to sweeten, time to ripen. It's the signal that runs through the whole orchard in the fall. It's why one bad apple really does spoil the barrel. The old saying is true because that one overripe apple is pouring out gas that ripens and then rots everything near it. My grandfather never heard the word ethylene in his life, but he knew the thing itself cold. We kept our apples in the cellar, and he knew to keep the ripe pears away from the hard ones we wanted to hold because, he said, the ripe ones hurry, the green ones along. He had no science word. He had 80 years of watching, and the science, when it finally came around, just put a name on what he already did. The United States Department of Agriculture has been studying this ripening gas since back in the early 1900s. They figured out that even a tiny amount of it, measured in parts per million, the smallest trace, will speed ripening dramatically. The commercial men who ship avocados across the whole country, you know what they do? They pick those avocados rock hard and green, ship them that way so they don't bruise, and then before they hit your store, they put them in special rooms and pump in that very gas to ripen them on a schedule. That's the truth of it. The fruit you buy was ripened on purpose by gas in a warehouse to land on the shelf at the moment that suits the store, not you. So here's the thing. You can do the exact same thing they do in your own kitchen for free with a paper bag. You've got hard avocados that won't ripen, put them in a brown paper bag and roll the top shut. That's it. The bag traps the ripening gas the avocado is giving off, holds it close around the fruit, and the gas does its work 2-3 times faster. A hard avocado that take 5 days on the open counter ripens in 2 in a bag, and you want it faster still? Put an apple or a banana in the bag with it. The apple and the banana give off far more of that gas than the avocado does, and they'll push it along even quicker. A banana in the bag can take a hard avocado to perfect in a day, day and a half. I've done it many times. It's not a trick. It's just understanding what the fruit is already doing and helping it along. Now flip it the other way. You've got avocados that are perfect right now, today, and you can't eat them all before they turn. Most folks just let them sit and watch 2 of them go to waste. Don't. The gas that ripens them also rots them if it keeps working. So you slow the gas down, and cold slows the gas way down. Once an avocado is ripe, just how you like it, put it in the refrigerator. The cold nearly stops the ripening in its tracks. A ripe avocado on the counter might give you 1 good day. That same ripe avocado in the refrigerator holds 3 days, sometimes 4, in that perfect window. You just bought yourself most of a week. So here's the whole rhythm of it, and write this down in your head. Hard and green, into a paper bag, with a banana, if you're in a hurry, on the counter. Perfect and ready, into the refrigerator to hold it there. That one simple habit, the bag in the cold, will cut your wasted avocados to near nothing. You'll stop throwing dollars in the bin, and you didn't spend a cent or buy a single gadget to do it. And don't let anybody sell you one of those special ripening bowls or fruit saver gizmos with the fancy lids. I've seen them $20, $30 for a plastic bowl that does what a 5-cent paper bag does. No better. That's the whole game, friend. They take a thing your grandmother did with a paper sack and a cool seller, and they put it in shiny plastic with a brand name and a price tag, and they sell your own grandmother's wisdom back to you. An entire industry built on charging you for what was always free. Now let me give you one more for the folks at home, because I promised you something you can do this very weekend with what's already in your kitchen, no shopping required. You cut into an avocado and only used half. The other half, with the pit still in it, you wrap it up, and by tomorrow, the cut face has gone brown and slimy. Everybody knows this misery, and everybody's heard, leave the pit in, it keeps it green. Well, that's only half right. The pit keeps green only the little circle of flesh it's actually touching. The rest browns anyway. The pit's not magic, it's just covering one spot. Here's what actually browns it: air. The minute you cut that flesh, the air starts turning it brown. The same way a cut apple browns. The same way an old penny goes dark. It's the air reacting with the fruit, so the fix isn't the pit. The fix is keeping the air off it. 2 ways my people's kitchen logic handles this. 1, press a piece of plastic wrap or wax paper flat right onto the cut face, touching it, no air gap, so the air can't reach the flesh at all. Not draped loose over the bowl, pressed flat against the green. That alone keeps it green a full day or two. 2, and this is the better one, a thin film of acid stops the browning cold, because acid slows that air reaction way down. So brush, or just rub, a little lemon juice or lime juice across the cut face. A squeeze of vinegar works the same. Then wrap it. The acid keeps that face green and bright till the next day. Easy. My grandmother did this very thing with a cut apple and a splash of cider vinegar water so the slices wouldn't brown before she got them in the pie. Same principle, same fix. 60, 70 years before anybody put it on the internet. You see how this goes? Every single one of these is something the plain folks just did, quiet, as a matter of course, because we couldn't afford to waste and we didn't have a store on every corner to run back to. Necessity taught us to read fruit and to hold it and to keep it, and now the outside world is slowly catching back up to what was never lost out here. But I've been holding the best for last, the one I told you about at the start, because everything so far helps you pick a good one and keep a good one. This last thing is different. This is how you know with near certainty that an avocado is perfect inside before you cut it. Even past the stem trick, Even when the store has done everything they can to fool your eye, this is the one I'd save for family. And now I'm giving it to you. Stay with me, because this is the part the produce man truly hopes you never learn. Everything I've shown you, the color, the touch, the stem, those read the surface and the top. The real master move is to read the whole fruit at once. And you do it with two things together that almost nobody combines. The first is weight, the second is sound. And when you put them with the stem, you are reading that avocado better than the fellow who stocked the shelf. Start with weight, pick up the avocado and feel its heft in your hand. Then pick up another one, the very same size. You'll feel it right away. One is heavier than the other. Here's what that's telling you. A good, fresh, ripe avocado is dense. It's full of oil and water, packed tight, heavy for its size. When an avocado starts to go bad inside, it dries out and pulls away from the skin, and pockets of air form between the flesh and the hide. So it gets lighter. A too light avocado, for its size, has air gaps inside. And air gaps mean the flesh is shrinking and going brown and stringy. So between two the same size, the heavier one is the better fruit near every time. The English produce researchers measure this same thing in the lab, the density of the fruit to grade oil content and ripeness. You can feel the very same thing with the hand the good Lord gave you, no machine needed. Now the second part, and this is the one that'll feel like a secret handshake, sound. Hold the avocado up near your ear, gentle, and give it the smallest shake. Just a little roll of the wrist, and listen, in an avocado that's overripe, going bad, the pit, that big seed in the middle, has come loose, because as the flesh inside softens too far and breaks down and pulls away, the seed is no longer held tight. It's rattling in a space that's opened up around it. So when you shake an overripe one near your ear, you'll hear it. A soft knock, a dull thunk, the pit moving in the hollow. That sound is the fruit telling you it's already too far gone. The inside has broken down enough to let the seed swim. A perfect avocado makes no sound at all. The flesh is firm and full and packed tight all around the pit, holding it dead still. Silence is ripeness. The knock is rot. Shake it, and if it's quiet, it's good, and if it rattles, you set it right back down. Now put it all together, the full reading, the way my grandfather read a pear, all at once, in about 5 seconds, costing you nothing. Look at the color, dull, not shiny. Cup it in your whole palm, even give no soft sunken spot. Heft it dense and heavy for its size, shake it by your ear, dead quiet, no rattle, and flick the stem bright green underneath. When a fruit passes all 5, that avocado is perfect inside. I'd stake my grandfather's good name on it. You will be right so often that the people in line behind you will start to wonder how you do it. And here's the thing that gets me every time I think on it. There's not one of these that takes a tool, not one that costs $1, not one that any human being couldn't do 100 years ago or 300. This is old knowledge. The reading of fruit by weight and sound and color and touch is as old as people growing food, and it was common as dirt once. Everybody's grandmother knew some piece of it, and then we let the stores do the choosing for us. We let the warehouse gas, the fruit, and the brand sell us the bowl, and we forgot. We handed it over. We let ourselves be made helpless in front of a pile of fruit, guessing, paying, tossing, paying again. Out where I was raised, we never handed it over. Not because we're clever, because we had to keep it. When the nearest store is a buggy ride away, and money is thin, and waste is shameful, you do not get to be helpless in front of your food. You learn to read it. You learn to hold it. You learn to keep it. And it gets handed down father to son, grandmother to girl, like a tool too useful to set down. So that's what this really is. It isn't a trick about avocados. It's a little piece of something quietly taken from most folks over the years, sold back to them in plastic with a price on it, and tonight you took it back. You walk into that store now and you can read the fruit better than the man who's paid to sell it. Nobody can fool your eye anymore. Nobody can sell you a sealed brown surprise. That's yours again, and it's yours to keep and to hand to whoever comes after you. You're the kind of person who'd rather know than guess, who'd rather read the fruit than trust the sticker, who'd sooner use a paper bag than buy a $30 bowl to do the same thing. That's good company to keep. That's the way my people have lived for a long, long time, and it's a fine way to live. You don't need them to provide what nature and a little knowing already gave you for free. So do this. Take what you learned here to the store this week and try it. The whole 5, all at once. Pick the heaviest of the size you want, the dull one, the one that's quiet by your ear, the one with green under the stem. Take it home, cut it open, and come back and tell me below if it wasn't perfect inside. I truly want to know. I read them all. And remember that small thing I asked you at the start, so tell me now in the comments. Where are you watching from, and do you like your avocado soft and buttery, or firmer and a little green? Type it down there. Don't be shy and don't just think it, write it, because it helps this find other folks who never learned what you now know, and it lets me know who's out there. If you want more of this, the plain old ways of growing and keeping and reading and saving the food the good Lord provides, the things my grandfather and his grandfather knew and never wrote down, then come along with us. This isn't about following some channel. It's about a handful of us putting the old practical knowledge back where it belongs, in regular kitchens and gardens, out of the warehouse and off the price tag. There's a lot of it left to recover, and it's better shared than lost. Next time, I'm going to show you the old way we kept apples through the whole winter, from October clear to spring in a cellar with no refrigeration at all, and the one common mistake that rots a whole barrel in a week, the thing my grandfather checked for every single Sunday without fail. It's the same gas we talked about today working against you this time, and once you see how he stopped it, you'll keep apples crisp for months for almost nothing. Until then, don't let anybody sell you back what was always yours. Read the fruit, trust your hands, and don't throw away one more good dollar guessing at what your own 2 eyes can tell you now that you know where to look. Check the stem. Heft the weight. Listen for the quiet. And eat well, friend, the way my people always. I'm Eli, and if these signs spoke to you, there's more. Inside the Amish field circle, I pick up right where we stopped and walk you through every ripeness sign, fruit by fruit. Get stuck? You ask me, and I answer you myself. No machine. You'd belong among old ways growers like you. Just point your phone's camera at the code on your screen, and you can cancel anytime with one click. If this old Amish trick helped you, do stay with me. Go ahead and subscribe and look around the channel, because there's plenty more simple, time-tested wisdom waiting right here for you.